People is proud to present the 40 Days for FinTechs, an initiative under its Include Everyone program, which is leading the way in advocating for technology that promotes financial inclusivity. Since 2020, we've profiled over 100 FinTechs, and our inaugural edition in Tanzania is shining a spotlight on those breaking down digital barriers and transforming lives for the better.
So my name is Neema Magimba. I am one of the co-founders and the head of legal for Sheria Kiganjani, which is Swahili for law on your palm. It's a platform that's providing easily accessible and affordable legal services to low and middle income earners in Tanzania through their mobile phones. So through our platform, users are able to talk and chat with lawyers 24/7. Users can get connected to lawyers who are closest to where they are. Users are able to download different templates and drafts of legal documents like contracts or MOUs. Users are able to formalize or register their businesses directly through our application, but also understanding that 90% of the laws in Tanzania are in English language and majority of Tanzanians speak Swahili. We've allowed users to have access to over 8,000 questions and answers, which simplify the complex legal provisions in Swahili language. So our platform is available on 3 avenues. We are available as a web-based platform, so through our website. We have a mobile application which is available on both iOS and Android, but feature phone users can access some of our services through their phones. So if you're a typical user, and let's say you want to talk to a lawyer, you would pay a subscription fee, where we have a daily, weekly or monthly subscription fee depending on your need. After you pay the subscription fee, you're able to talk directly with our lawyer who will further assist you. So depending on your need, you may have a simple inquiry or you may need to further get connected to a lawyer who can help you physically. The payment cuts through the app automatically. Integrated it with Cellcom so the users can pay immediately in the app without necessarily leaving the application. So feature phone users can access our helpline, which does not require them having an application for them to be able to access us. We also share informative bulk SMS on a weekly basis to all our users so they can access those learning channels. We also directly connect them to lawyers who are closest to where they are once they call. But in order to improve their service delivery, we want to develop a USSD code which will now enable them to access all our services without necessarily calling us first. So we're grateful that this year Tanzania has enacted the Data Protection Act, which plays an amazing role when it comes to protection of data of users, but also people who are using and interacting with our platform. So within our platform, before you interact with us, there is a data policy which you are supposed to agree to. So you'd read the terms and conditions of our data policy, which clearly explains how we protect your data, how we interact with your data. But the legal officers who are providing legal services also adhere to all the trust and confidentiality clauses that a lawyer would adhere to when dealing with a client. So we uphold the highest standards of trust and confidentiality, but we are also providing our services in line with the data protection laws of the country. We are using Cellcom, who is the aggregator, so for them, they are the ones who would get the licenses. It's easy for us. But for purely fintech platforms, which we have assisted as well by providing them with legal services, one of the huge challenges that we have seen is the costs of getting the relevant licenses and certifications they need from the Bank of Tanzania in order to be able to handle the payments within their platforms. The amount of money that you need to pay for these licenses is relatively very high, especially for a startup company that's just starting their operations. So I would say the regulations are pretty clear. We have amazing laws that govern these fintech interactions, but the amount of money within the regulation does not really consider a startup that's starting out, especially that one that's working with just seed funding. The fact that there is no presence of, let's say, startup ecosystem players when making the decisions to enact these laws and policies is the issue that's widening the gap. So if we have more involvement of startup ecosystem players within the decision making, within the tailoring or the enacting of these laws and policies, I think it will make considerable changes. They'll be able to provide I would say the human-centric advice to the policymakers on how to tailor-make this policy so that they could accommodate startups as well. And we've seen that move. The government is now highly involving startup ecosystem players. We've seen the government working with the Tanzania Startup Association in different interactions. So we think that these conversations need to be had in union between the government, the policymakers, together with the startup ecosystem, so that our voice is heard and these policies are better able to cater to us as well. I think initiatives like this are very important, and we need them because, again, these are spaces where we will bring together all the players. We'll bring the policymakers together, but we'll also bring the startups together in one room to enable them to discuss matters around what affects us and to get the real-time information from the actual players on how they can better improve the policies, improve the laws, and generally just improve the startup ecosystem so that we are able to flourish in Tanzania. I think these initiatives like the 40 Days, 40 FinTechs is very, very important. It will foster these conversations, but also enabling people. These initiatives also help to, spread the word, enable people to know more about these FinTech players. I believe that a lot of startup companies complement each other. So if someone knows about Sheria Kiganjani and they know, hey, I can go to Sheria Kiganjani and get legal services or any other FinTech startup that can assist them in their day-to-day operations, I think that will be helpful as well. So right now, services are limited to Tanzania and Tanzanians in diaspora who need legal services in Tanzania. But we do intend to scale. Our platform is in Swahili language, so it has the potential to scale to all 14 Swahili-speaking countries in Africa, and that's the intention. We would want to start with Rwanda and Kenya because justice needs surveys had shown that there are similar justice needs in this country, similar to Tanzania. And if someone would want to access Sheria Kiganjani or get more information about us, they can reach out to us through all social media platforms. Our username is Sheria Kiganjani. They can reach out to us through our website, which is www.sheriakiganjani.or.tz, and we're also available. They can download our mobile application through iOS or Android, Sheria Kiganjani.
Join us in this financial inclusivity revolution, presented in partnership with Level 1 Project, Information and Communication Technologies Commission ICTC, Founders Academy, Cyber PLC Academy, Cross-Leg Technologies, Infitex, Ideation Corner, and the Moduloop Foundation with generous support from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Follow hashtag 40 Days for the FinTechs, hashtag Level 1 Project to learn more and get involved in creating a brighter financial future for all.